A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to all of you, as it's an absolute pleasure to have you all with us today at this momentous occasion, the future of energy, which comes now in a box. Well, today, ladies and gentlemen, we are not just witnessing a product launch, we're celebrating a powerful partnership and a bold step forward in Sri Lanka's renewable energy journey. Now, this event marks the official collaboration between two giants in their fields, Haley Solar, the renewable energy arm of Haley's Fenton's, and BYD Energy Storage, a global leader in battery technology. Now, together, they are bringing to the Sri Lankan market a range of cutting-edge energy storage solutions which are designed to make energy more accessible, more sustainable, and of course, more efficient for both homes and businesses alike. Now, from the innovative LV 5.0, HVS and MaxLight to the versatile Powerbox inverter, these technologies promise not just convenience, ladies and gentlemen, but energy independence and future readiness. And as we all know, Haley Solar has long been at the forefront of renewable energy in Sri Lanka, with over 300 megawatt of rooftop solar systems installed across the island, and they are also the #1 EPC solar company in the country. And now, with the strength of BYD's world-renowned battery technology, tried and tested across over 110 cities worldwide, this partnership is set to redefine what's possible in energy storage and, of course, solar integration. And before we dive into today's proceedings, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick moment to journey through the story of a brand that has been lighting up lives across our island.
One name, many firsts. With over 300 megawatts of solar installations, we're not just transforming the energy landscape, we're shaping the future of energy. We introduced Sri Lanka's first 2 megawatt-hour battery energy storage system, delivering uninterrupted power for up to 3 days, even when the grid goes down. We brought solar to agriculture with Sri Lanka's first semi-transparent agrivoltaics project, allowing sunlight to nourish crops while generating clean energy and maximizing land use. We commissioned Sri Lanka's first ever 6.9 megawatt single-roof solar installation at Access Logistics, setting a new benchmark in rooftop solar innovation. Redefined logistics with Sri Lanka's first solar-powered movable shipping containers at Aitken Spence. We powered Sri Lanka's first ever large-scale solar-powered telecom network with over 1,050 telecom towers, ensuring seamless connectivity across the island. Projects aren't just milestones, they're a promise to our nation, to our future, and to our planet. Join us in shaping the future of renewable energy. Haley Solar, Sri Lanka's #1, the largest and most trusted solar provider.
Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Haley Solar. And now we take the privilege in inviting a visionary leader whose guidance and foresight continue to steer one of Sri Lanka's most respected and diversified conglomerates. Ladies and gentlemen, to deliver a special address this evening, please join me in welcoming our chief guest, Mr. Mohan Panditake, Chairman and Chief Executive of Haley's PLC.
Good evening, everybody, respected government officials, representatives from BYD Energy, industry experts, consultants, and corporate partners, and my family from Haley's. Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen. It is a privilege to have you all here with us as we mark an important step forward for Sri Lanka's renewable energy landscape. BYD Energy is a global leader in lithium battery and energy storage solutions. Their battery box technology has already transformed how energy is stored and consumed across the world. With this timely launch, we bring that same innovation to Sri Lanka. The battery box series services offers a smart, scalable solution to empower homes and industries to manage energy more efficiently, reduce grid dependency, and support Sri Lanka's renewable energy goals. Haley's Group remains committed to driving value by bringing world-class, innovative and sustainable solutions to Sri Lanka. It is this commitment that has made Haley's Sri Lanka's #1 corporate in the LMD 100 and earned us a reaffirmed AAA national long-term rating with a stable outlook by Fitch Rating. Our sincere thanks to BYD Energy for their trust in this partnership. I wish Haley Solar and BYD Energy every success as they embark on this collaboration towards a cleaner, more energy secure Sri Lanka. Do enjoy the evening and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Panditake, for your valuable insights. Well, ladies and gentlemen, from powering cities across the globe to transforming the way we store and use energy, BYD has become a global force in battery innovation and sustainability. And to give us a deeper insight into BYD's energy storage vision, we now cordially invite Ms. I.C. Liang, Regional Sales Manager of BYD Energy Storage, along with Mr. Carson Xiao, Senior Director, BYD Energy Storage.
Okay. Dear distinguished guests, all of our valued partners, and ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Last month, BYD has delivered its first batch of new energy vehicles in Sri Lanka. Tonight, we are gathering here in Colombo to explore more opportunities to contribute a green and stable power. I'm very glad to work with our official authorized partner, Helix Group, to bring the latest energy storage solutions from BYD side. Thanks a lot for your time to witness this very exciting moment. So, as you might know, BYD stands for Build Your Dreams. And tonight, I will give you a little more details about BYD Group. So, the company was established in 1994 with 20 employees and the initial investment $300,000 only. After 30 years development, we have got over 900,000 employees, and more than 120,000 of them are doing the research and development. With their great efforts, now we have filed more than 59,000 patent applications, and 35,000 of them have been awarded to BYD officially. And now, let's first move forward to the year of 2024. You can see we have achieved more than 107 billion US dollars. So you are not working or in partnership with a small company. You are in partnership with a very huge international company. And our products have spread to more than 400 cities in over 100 countries across 6 continents. Our product footprints have covered Middle East and Africa, Europe and America, as well as Asia Pacific, including Sri Lanka. So we have our American headquarters, which located in Los Angeles, and our European headquarters located in Netherlands. And we are from the BYD global headquarters, where is Shenzhen, China. So currently we are mainly operating 4 business sectors, which is electronics, the automotive, renewable energy, and the rail transit. Tonight, I will give you a little more details about these 4 business sectors. The first one is about BYD electronics. So BYD actually is a top EMS provider with one-stop service and solutions. So we are providing ODM and OEM service for all of these well-known brands, such as Huawei, Samsung, Lenovo, as well as Google, and so on. So maybe you don't know BYD before, but I would like to say BYD in reality is always stay with you silently. Maybe once you open your battery cover of the mobile phone inside, maybe it's BYD battery. Okay, the second part is about BYD Auto. So far we have sold more than 10 million of the new energy vehicles in the global markets, and only in last year, in 2024, we have sold more than 4.2 million new energy vehicles. So that makes BYD ranked global #1 for 3 years in a row in terms of the sales of renewable energy vehicles. Yes, now let's have a video to understand how to produce a car in BYD. 2016 with 100% intellectual property. That means we can totally produce all of these key components by BYD itself, such as IGBT and the board systems and so on. So that is just to show you how strong of the BYD capability. Okay. The last part is about the renewable energy. Yeah, can you, yeah, it's coming. So this one is about the renewable energy. Actually, BYD battery energy storage is widely installed in the over 100 countries across the 6 continents. So far, we have sold more than 75 gigawatt hours battery energy storage system in the global markets. And that makes BYD ranked global #1 as well in terms of the DC side battery energy storage system. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today we are not about launching a new product, but also to show you what will happen and what we can do when technology innovations combine with the teamwork. So let's start the journey not only as the business partners, but also working as the pioneers to start working as the pioneers to build a world where the clean energy is as easy to get as air. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, again, this is just a beginning. So now I would like to give the turn to my colleague, Ms. Icy, who will tell you more details about our new products. Okay, thanks. And Icy, please take it over.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's my great honor to introduce BYD ESS to you. And at the very beginning, I'd like to say thank you to Ms. Carson for your wonderful presentation to introduce BYD Group and the BYD industry to you. And secondly, I'd like to say thank you to Hallis team. You really impressive me to make the whole events so successful and eye-catching. And last but not least, I'd like to say thank you to all the audience for coming to tonight's events. I know you just finished the Sri Lanka New Year. Today is the second day of your work day, so I hope you can have a happy journey tonight. And now I'd like to make a brief introduction of BYD ESS to you. Okay, at the very beginning, I ask you one question. Why BYD ESS? Why BYD energy storage system? Please pay attention. This is not just a simple question, because after my whole presentation, we will have 8 questions for all the audience. For those people who can answer the question properly, you can get a surprise gift from BYD and Hallis team. So please pay attention. Maybe the answer is just in my presentation. Okay, I'd like to give you some key numbers about BYD energy storage. First, you can see it's 1.1 million installation cases. Please notice, this is not just 1.1 million batteries. This is 1.1 million systems. BYD has already sold more than 75 gigawatt-hour energy storage to the market. And the second figure I'd like to give to you is the 10 years. I'm not sure if you have ever contacted with any other battery manufacturer. Some of them, they told you, I can give you like a 7 years warranty. I can give you 10 years warranty. Or even some of them, they tell you, I can give you 15 years warranty. But how do you think about it? Can you believe it? I'm not sure. Because maybe this is just a paper tricky. Why? BYD is one of the company who have do the ESS for more than 10 years. Some of our products, we provide 10 years warranty, and we do, because we have already in this market for 10 years. We promise to you, we do, and we keep our promise. But I'm not sure if other competitors, they can do so. The third figure I'd like to give it to you is about the footprint. We have sold our energy storage for more than 110 countries. And so happy last year for BYD ESS, we launched into Sri Lanka market. I think with all your giant efforts, BYD can make a huge success in Sri Lanka market in the near future. Okay, the second part I'd like to tell you is about why makes BYD battery so outstanding? Why makes BYD battery so special than other competitors? Because we have the on-to-on industry chain layout. Here you can see we have the 23 years LFP battery manufacture history, and we have put our 7% revenue for the R&D. Do you remember during Mr. Carson's presentation how much revenue we achieved last year? 107 billion USD last year. You can imagine how much amount 7% BYD has put into the R&D. And we only talk about the battery, talk about the energy storage. We have more than 1,000 R&D personnel, and among them, there has 700 who has the PhD degree. And also we have more than 10,000 patents for the battery. And in the below, you can see this is BYD on-to-on chain layout. From the mineral resources to the development of the cells, BMS, pack, to the whole module. BYD is not just the company who purchase the BMS board from A company, purchase the cells from B company, and then do the simple assembly. BYD are the real battery manufacturer. We design, we produce, and we maintain this. We even recycle the battery. Another point I need to mention here is the safety. If we talk what is the key point of the battery, what will you think in your mind? Like the cost, like the efficiency, like the quality. But if you ask me, I will tell you my answer is the safety. Because for the battery, especially for the energy storage, it close to your house, close to your family, close to your car, close to the grid, close to your factory. So safety is always the first priority of BYD battery. So here is a vivid video it can show to you. On the right, we can see we use an iron layer pelletries into BYD blade battery. No smoke and no fire. But on the left, you can see we use an iron layer pelletries into NCM battery. It's immediate conflagration. So you can definitely see how safe BYD battery is. Another key point I'd like to tell you about BYD battery is about the high efficiency. According to HTW Berlin, BYD has 8 years in the top rank when it comes to the efficiency. In the following page, I will tell you how efficiency BYD battery is. Okay, the third point I'd like to introduce BYD product lineup to you. Today, thanks to Hala's team, we're gonna launch our residential battery, commercial battery, and inverter into Sri Lanka market. We can see we have the residential battery, high voltage, we call the HVS. Low voltage, we call the LV50. We have the commercial battery. We have the two scenarios. One is for the outdoor scenario, we call the max light. Another scenario, we call the max light in, use the indoor. And we have our inverter in the market soon. For the single phase, no voltage inverter, 3 to 6K, 7 to 10K. I will tell you more details about one by one. This is our residential battery, high voltage HVS. For each battery, you can see that has a 2.56 kilowatt hour for one battery. And in one tower, we can support 225 battery in one tower. And we can support 3 towers in parallel to make the whole system capacity from 5.1 to 38.4 kilowatt hours. I believe it can suitable for a lot of home residential high voltage scenarios. And I have some key points to tell you. For this battery, we have the IP55, which means you can use all door. And also for this battery, we have 10 years warranty with 60% SOH. May I know, do you know what does that mean by SOH? Is there anybody know? Maybe in my questionnaire, we will have the question about this part. Let me give you the explanation. SOH means the state of health. It's about how much capacity you can have after the warranty years. For example, if you purchase a 10 kilowatt hour capacity HVS, 10 years later, you can still have at least 6 kilowatt hours. You can believe 10 years is not the limit of BYD batteries user life. This is just the free warranty. For our battery, we can absolutely use more than 10 years. And another key point I need to emphasize here is 100% DOD. DOD, do you know what does that mean? The depth of discharge. That means if you pay attention to our other competitors, some of them, they just mention their DOD 80%. Some of them mention their DOD for 90%. Let me give you an example. If you purchase a 5 kilowatt hour battery, 80% DOD means you can only get 4 kilowatt hour. 90% DOD means you can only get 4.5 kilowatt hour. But for BYD, we only talk about 100% DOD. That means if you purchase a 5 kilowatt hour capacity, you can really get 5 kilowatt hour. This is a huge difference. And second battery I'd like to introduce here is our residential low voltage battery. We call it LV50. LV means low voltage. 50 means 5 kilowatt hour capacity. In this battery, we support 7 years warranty with 65% SOH. And we can support in one system 32 batteries in parallel. Please pay attention, 32 batteries in one system. That means for one system, we can support 5 to 160 kilowatt hours. And for this battery, we also support 100% DOD. And it can support 0.7 C rating. Now, I'd like to use a short video to tell you some more about LV50. So please start the video. Okay, after you introduce BYD residential battery, I'd like to introduce our commercial solution to you because I know some of you are very interested in the business energy storage. Now here you can see we have the commercial battery we call the Max Light. For Max means it's very big, Light means it's very affordable. We design it for the price sensitive market, and we have some key parameters to show you. Okay, let's continue. For this Max Light In, we use the Max means the huge capacity, Light means the affordable, In means the indoor solution. For this battery, we have the IP20, which can be recommended use indoor, and it has 10 years warranty. After 10 years, we can support at least 70% SOH. Let's look at the more details of this battery. Here you can see, this is a whole outlook of the battery. We have 3 parts. For the outside, we call the rack. And at the top, inside, we call the PDU. And there has 11 batteries in the rack. One battery has 7.5 kilowatt hours. In one rack, we can support 4 to 11 modules, which means for one rack, it will have 30 kilowatt hour to 82.4 kilowatt hour, and we can support 32 rack in parallel. The whole system is from 30 kilowatt hour to 2.64 megawatt hour. And for this battery, I need to emphasize here, this battery we have support 1C, charge and discharge. That means you can fully charge and discharge the battery in 1 hour. Here is a short video about the Max Light In. Okay, this is the video about Max Light In. In fact, before I heard from Mr. Roshin mentioned Sri Lanka has a huge market for the commercial. Some of you have the factory, have the office, have the school, hospital, require for the commercial battery for around 1 megawatt hour. definitely, I think MaxLight-In will be a perfect solution for you. And meanwhile, not only we have the IP20 version, but also we have the IP55 version. We call it the carburetor version. Inside of each carburetor, there has an air conditioner. So if you have only commercial scenarios required for the outdoor scenarios, we can definitely support you as well. And here, I'd like to introduce our new solution to you. We call the new no-voltage solution. Here, you can have a look. In this solution, before I just introduced BYD battery to you, right? And in this solution, we have launched not only the battery, but also the inverter. And in the past years, BYD always focused on the battery. We have made a huge success in the global market. A lot of clients, they come to BYD. They ask, wow, Miss Carson, I choose BYD battery. I believe it. Because if I choose BYD, I choose the safety, I choose the quality, I choose the big brand, I choose the reliable. So how about you produce inverter as well? If we can give the end user one set solution, BYD inverter with BYD battery, then definitely the end users, they will trust in BYD, because BYD is a good reputation company. And if we give a one set solution, we can easily find one brand, one company to solve all the issues and to give you the one set support. Okay, we heard from the end user, and we find one issues and to give you the one set support. Okay, answer to our end user. Now today to Sri Lanka market. And in this new solution, we have two series of the inverter. We call it the no voltage single phase inverter, from 3K to 6K, 7K to 10K. Each of them can support 3 inverters in parallel, so make the whole output energy to 30 kilowatts. And in order to compatible with the new inverter, we will launch our second generation of BYD no voltage residential battery. We call the LV50 Plus. Please pay attention, there has a LV50 with Plus. And in this battery, we have increased the capacity from 5 kilowatt-hour to 5.12 kilowatt-hour. It can also support 32 batteries in parallel to make the whole system reach to 163 kilowatt-hours. And I'd like to introduce you one by one about the battery and also the inverter to see what do we keep and what do we improve in the new system. So what do we keep? Here you can see, as I mentioned, if you ask what's the key parameters or what is most important for a battery, I will answer you the safety. And for our new solutions, we keep the safety and the reliability always. We have the full level protection from the cell to the pack to the whole system. Make sure you choose BYD, you choose the safety. And in the new battery LV50 Plus, we have increased the C rating from 0.7C to 1C. That means you can fully charge and discharge the battery in 1 hour. From 30% to 80% SOC, you only take 33 minutes. That can definitely to save the time and the cost of the end user. Because a lot of people, when you choose an energy storage system, you will ask about one question about the ROI, right? If the battery efficiency is good enough, as good as 1C, then it can definitely shorten the ROI. And in this new battery, we make it more easier for the installer. In one system, if you put several LV50 battery, you don't need to use the app to choose how many battery you use, what is the model you use, what are the scenarios you use. You just need to turn on the open button. Then our app can automatically to notice and analyze how much battery you use, what's the scenario and what's the inverter model you have. It's very friendly and easy for our installer and end user. And as we all know, for the battery, it's very important to choose the reliable inverter, because when you have one set of solution, there has a quality issue happened. One set of solution will definitely give the confidence to the end user. So in our new battery, we have improved BYD own inverter to compatible with LV50, but we are open. We open to the market. If the inverter brand is good enough, so we give more choice to the end user. That means your power, your options. We are open to SMA, Solis, Deye, Magrova, and so on, to give you more choice. And after introduce our battery LV50 Plus, I'd like to introduce our inverter. We call the Power Box SL. In order to let you know and in order to help you remember the name of BYD inverter, here is a detailed description. Power box means the inverter series. SL means single phase, no voltage. Definitely, you can imagine in the near future, BYD will have the second series. Maybe it's SH, single phase, high voltage. Maybe it's TH, three phase, hybrid, high voltage. So let's looking forward to it. And 3K to 6K or 7 to 10K means the output energy of the inverter. In this inverter, due to the good quality and the design of our inverter, we have passed a lot of strict certification. For example, like the IEC, EN, NARS, and so on. If you choose BYD inverter, you can definitely believe the quality and the reliable of BYD. And in this inverter, we have make the safety comes the first. It has the lightning protection and also the electric monitoring that can eliminate the fire accident in advance to make sure the whole system is safe enough. And for this inverter, we have to keep the waterproof and the dustproof with IP66, which makes the whole system can be used for two scenarios, the outdoor scenarios and the indoor scenarios. And due to the high level of the waterproof and the dustproof, that make the whole system has a longer use life. And maybe some of you have a big house. Inside of the house, you will have the refrigerator, air conditioner. And as we all know, when we open the big node, for example, like the air conditioner, it needs a very huge current at the very beginning. So in this inverter, we have make it up to 200 peak power output for 10 seconds. That can make sure when you start the big home appliances, the whole system is safety enough. And in this system, we have the worry-proof backup function. If there has a power shortage happened, we can absolutely transfer from the on-grid mode to the backup scenarios within 10 milliseconds. As we all know, when the eyesight, do you know how long it will take for a human being to do a one eyesight? Is 100 millimeters. But BYD inverter, we can transfer to the backup function within 10 seconds. You can even notice the transfer of the inverter and of all your home appliances. And it can make the protection of your home appliances. And for the end user, some of you stay in the city center. Some of you stay far away from the city center. That means maybe there has some scenarios who do not have the grid. So what's gonna happen if there has the raining days for a long time? That means you do not have the power from the grid. You do not have the power from the PV. So what's gonna happen? Don't need to worry about it. If you choose BYD inverter from the 7 to 10K, we have the built-in diesel generation port that can totally relax your anxiety of the power shortage. And in this whole system, we have one app. In the one app, it can monitor and control battery with the inverter. That means you can use one app to see all the performance and all the functions of your inverter and the battery. And what's more, we have the Bluetooth commissioning and debugging. If you live the place far away from the internet, you don't need to worry about it. You just use the Bluetooth, then our whole system can connect it with the app. And also we have the remote monitoring and remote OTA updates. What's the function of this? If there has any quality issue happened, you can just use the app to control your whole system. Download the logs and upload the logs to our system. We will have our after-sales service team to analyze and solve the issue. You don't need to go to the location to solve the problem by yourself. Just use the app. Then it can absolutely save the time and cost of all the investors and our partners. And for the one-set solution, we provide 10 years warranty. Once again, I need to emphasize here, maybe others, they also provide 10 years warranty to you, but maybe you cannot believe in them. Why? Because they do not have the 10 years history in the energy storage or in the inverter. Or I even heard something already happened in African market. For example, like 3 years before, they choose one battery company who can promise give them 10 years warranty. But now, 3 years later, what happened? Those battery manufacturers, they disappear in the market. You can even find them. But for BYD, we will stay here for a long time. BYD is a big company, is a good reputation company. We do not only have the battery business, we also have our auto business. You can definitely believe 10 years later, 20 years later, even 100 years later, BYD will stay here. BYD will give your promise and we will definitely achieve it. So the 10 years of warranty is tested by the market. You should choose those companies who can pass the test of the on the market. Okay, this is all about my presentation. You remember I mentioned after my presentation we will have a small Q&A part. For those people who can answer the question properly, you can get the gifts from BYD and Harleys. And for those people who cannot answer the question properly, don't need to worry about it. You just follow our social media for the LinkedIn, Instagram, and you can see more details of BYD battery and BYD inverter. And once again, thank you very much for attending today's event. This is all about my presentation. Maybe presentation is only on the video, is only on the paper. I definitely, as Mr. Carson mentioned, only welcome you to visit BYD in Shenzhen, China. Then you can see how BYD produced a car, a battery, how BYD grew up bigger and bigger. Once again, thank you very much for attending today's event.
Thank you very much, Ms. Aisa Liang and Mr. Carson Shao, for that comprehensive presentation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, to add more glamour for this evening, we have a fabulous performance which will bring about a fusion of Sri Lankan traditional battle poems along with a piece from the world-renowned Pirates of the Caribbean. And for that, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mahesh Denipitia and team.
නොමදින් විකුම් පාලා නොමදින් විකුම් පාලා සැදෙමින් යුදට ඇද ලන්දේසින් සමගින් ජනරාලා නොමදින් විකුම් පාලා සමිඳුන්ගේ බුවේ පාලා සමිඳුන්ගේ බුවේ පාලා සියසේ අතින් මිය මින් ගියෝ යුදයෙන් ඇනුම් කාලා යුදයෙන් ඇනුම් කාලා සිතු පිට නැව් නැගිලා පරන්දි උන්නමුත් ඇවිත් කොළඹට ගොඩ බෑලා අන්දමත් හොඳයි කිසි බීසී ගාලා කොළඹති කම්පලත් නැතත් සෙනගක් මරා දාලා තලන බඳින මිගට බලන ආගිය වග අහලබ අඳින බඳින දේ උතුරන රුපු සෙනගට නොවීස එරන දෙරන කරන විකුම බල සිංහල සෙනගන තම් තනත් තනත් තන තම් තන තම් තානෙනම් දෙයි තනත් තනත් තන තම් තන තානා කාන තම් තනත් තනත් තන තම් තන තම් තානෙනම් දෙයි තනත් තනත් තන තම් තන තානා දින් විකුම් පාලා.
All right, so now as we stand at the crossroads of innovation and sustainability, it's clear that the future of energy lies in how we store it, how we manage it, and make it accessible to all. And today, we are bringing together some of the brightest minds in the industry to unpack just that. So we now move into a dynamic exchange of ideas, a panel discussion on the evolving world of solar energy and battery technology. And for that, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, please welcome your moderator this evening, Professor Lilantha Samranayaka, the Dean at the Faculty of Engineering, University of Peradeniya. And ladies and gentlemen, your panelists are Mr. Harsha Vikramasinghe, the Director General at Sri Lanka Sustainability Energy Authority. And your next panelist this evening is Mr. Tarindu De Silva, the Senior Project Manager at LECO. Moving on to our third panelist, Mr. Roshan Pereira, the CEO and Executive Director at Haley Solar. And our final panelist this evening is Mr. Carson Sheo, the Senior Director at BYD Energy Storage. Over to you, Professor.
Thank you. Good evening, and thank you for inviting me to moderate this panel discussion. I think we have the best resource persons to discuss this topic. First of all, just to set the tone to the panel discussion, I will use a couple of slides. Now, if I take the statistics from the International Energy Agency in 2024, world's electricity generation, 5% is from solar photovoltaic in 2023, and in 2030 they predict it to go up to 16%. Now this is the world scenario, and overall by 2030, 46% of the world's electricity will be from the renewable energy. And these renewable sources include, don't forget, electricity as well, and also under others you have even nuclear. So we can see that light blue in the legend is representing the solar PV, and it will be 16% of the world's electricity generation. And we know that back in 2019 or 2020, Sri Lanka also embarked into the goal of having 70% of renewable energy in the grid by 2030. At that time, this was debated quite heavily. However, that government as well as the subsequent governments started moving ahead with that. And as a result, we have a situation which I will show in the next slide, where as of the end of last year, 27.4% of our installed capacity is from solar. And very interestingly, this is, if you take all the renewables, we are at 66.6%. So by the time we start this year. So which is, our target has been 70% in 2030, and there has been a lot of incentives given by the government, and also there has been many technological transformations taken place in between, and as a result we have reached these numbers. However, having said that, it is very interesting to note that it is very interesting to note that this 27.4% of solar has something different, that is compared to the other sources of electricity, because this comes without any inertia to the grid, and that imposes great challenges in stabilizing the grid. Now, I come from a control system background at my PhD level as well, and I have been telling this problem to the respective stakeholders in the government. By adding this, I mean, when I saw this solution being introduced in about 10 years ago, I saw the problem, and I anticipated some stabilization problems in the grid, and this was evidenced in several blackouts in the country, especially in 2020 and very recently February 9th this year. When you don't have the sufficient amount of inertia, the problem is a very simple disturbance can destabilize the system and end up with a blackout in the entire network. So as a result, the reliability of the grid is at stake. So what are the solutions? Everybody is talking about solutions to this, and there are many solutions. Some are still at the research stage, some are at the commercial stage, and some have commercially viable solutions, and some are still need to come to that stage. And today we are talking about a solution which has come to the commercial stage. And in Sri Lankan context, we have been studying solutions like pump storage since 2015, if I am not mistaken. The first feasibility study was done, and sites have been identified. However, the problem is this kind of a system will come with storage by 2032. So we cannot wait by putting the grid at risk until we get there. So the next solution is the battery storage. So this solves the problem of not having sufficient inertia in the grid introduced by the solar power in the grid. However, there were some concerns. The concerns were how long, first of all, the affordability of this one. Second, how long time they will survive. And third one, what's going to do with, once you have started using it and once the SOH has come down to a significantly low number. So these things, were partly addressed, or maybe fully addressed by the company who is having the partnership today. And with that, I would like to turn to our resource persons who are joined here in the discussion. So, right. So with that background, we have the resource persons representing the manufacturer, basically the BYD, and then its agent or the partner here in Sri Lanka, that is Haley Solar, and then the policy from policymakers from the Sustainable Energy Authority of the government of Sri Lanka, and the implementation agency, that is the utility, represented by the representative from the Lanka Electricity Company Limited, or LECO. So first, let me start the problem. Let me start the discussion with the real problem. Now, when these solar systems were introduced, they were mainly rooftop solar. And rooftop solar is handled by the distribution network. And in this forum, I don't think there's a better person than Tharindu to talk about the problems that you encounter in getting the solar systems, and are once fixed into the network, what are the problems that you encountered as a distributed system operator?
Well, thank you, Professor. And very problematic question that you asked. Already do in the university times. So my answer would be not that brief as BYD assembles the car in 31 seconds, as I can remember. So it will be I'll try to limit my elaboration with a couple of minutes. So I mean, if you are an engineer, specially worked in a disco, you are faced with a significant challenge. First thing is the peace of mind. Second thing is when you will lose your job. So with these technological advancements, if we don't adopt the systems, our distribution systems, distribution networks, to the facing challenges like intermittency issues. Of course, when you have more than 1/4 of rooftop installed capacity in your country, your discos can't have a peace of mind. And the voltage always fluctuates at the daytime. And also, we predict lots of issues at the couple of decades back with the inconsistency or the variance of the load. But unfortunately, now the generation side also has significant level of volatility. So with that grid level intermittency issues, when you penetrate more solar into the network, and also people would like to invest more in solar. I mean, our network has already positive for all the energy inclusive projects like rooftop solar, where you see a significant amount of solar rooftop installation has been already completed. Probably more than around 1,500 megawatts of rooftop solar. Only rooftop solar. So that level of enthusiast market segment is there in the Sri Lankan consumer base. So they would like to engage with us and inclusive with us in the energy sector investments. As you correctly said in presentation, we have installed lots of solar, non-firm solar into our network. So it will be more crucial for us to maintain and give us a better supply quality to the consumers. So not like in previous days, consumer doesn't want electricity. They have 100% electricity now, but now what they want is the quality of electricity, the reliability. Yeah. So when it comes to reliability, you can't have a peace in mind in your hand if you subscribe for newsletters like Bloomberg, all the day technology is evolving. So now I just received a SMS saying another very good competitor of BYD has commercially unveiled sodium batteries, where now the battery technology has been growing so that it will not be a rare earth material in future like lithium. So battery will be scattered everywhere, and we'll be having more renewable in the network. With that, the challenge would be also within in your question, the box that we are talking about. It will be actually a jukebox for the utilities, not just a battery box. So battery will be a jukebox for utilities in future. We expect more penetration of batteries to solve our issues in future.
Thank you, Tarindu. And yeah, I think one of the key concerns that he raised is the voltage problem. And so for that, the customers are looking for solutions, and also the utility, you are trying to provide solutions. Now, in that respect, there's no argument that why someone should invest in battery technologies. So anything to add from the distribution point of view, why the customers should invest in battery technology?
Well, now our customers have different requirements of the power quality. So we can't have gold-plated electricity to each and everyone. So that our investment will be limited in that sense. So in that case, we trying to open several certain set of business opportunities for the customers, as we did it with the rooftop or the Surabaya Sangramya. So there will be certain business models in future where consumers can export during peaks with their own rooftops, and consumers can participate in demand response programs in future. We have floated a couple of pilots with demand response with our one of the donors. And the third thing is their power quality. So once the grid is not able to handle their own power quality, if grid is to deliver the required goal-plated electricity, the infrastructure investment would be significant. So that we expect to introduce certain business models in future, so that our investment infrastructure would be deferral with the consumers having their own batteries at their backyard. And we particularly introduced Sri Lanka's first ever grid-tied microgrid back in 2016. The proposal, when we take up the proposal, it was quite a challenging task why Lanka utility would introduce or invest in a microgrid, where a grid-tied microgrid, where the electricity availability is very high. So with that, we try to explore more what are the business opportunities that we can provide with ancillary services, and how we can defer the investment and get customer funds to the battery storage projects, and have more lucrative business proposals to consumers, so that they engage more with the utilities, extending their footprint than the rooftop solar. So that's how we are targeting in future. There will be quite a lot of storage mechanisms, and there will be peak exporting tariffs in future. There will be some demand response programs, so that consumers can invest on these batteries and have their carbon footprint lower while supporting the grid.
Thank you. So with that, I turn to Dr. Harsha from the Sustainable Energy Authority. Now, when you introduce a new technology to the country, the policy matters a lot. From the Sustainable Energy Authority point of view, can you explain the current Sri Lanka policy and the roadmap regarding this energy storage?
Thank you, Professor Lilantha, for your question. And we really look into the future when we design policies. If you take the solar rooftop program of our country, we just like the brand name we are launching today, Build Your Dreams, we had a dream. We dream all the time. My colleagues will agree, we dream during the daytime as well as during the night time about a great future. So we had a vision for the future where renewable energy will take over our network one fine day. And actually, me and one of my colleagues, we discussed whether we will be still in service when the kilowatt of your electricity, solar electricity, capacity will be sold under $500. So it was unthinkable at the time, because kilowatt of solar capacity at the time was about $5,000. So 90% price reduction, we had a dream, and I'm happy to note now it has come down to about 330, even beyond our dreams. So similarly, we have a space for storage technologies as well, meaning now, even now the things are happening way beyond our expectations. The prices are coming down. So our policy designs will take, it will be actually a fertile soil where many things can take root. We don't force anything into our country, we let things happen. That is the way we have operated, and the huge success of the Surabala Sangrama is a case in point, where we don't intervene way too deeply, but we create a fertile soil where things can grow on its own. So I think battery space, the energy storage space is similar. We will create a space in three ways. One is already happening, the grid scale, large scale batteries. There's going to be an opportunity for the companies to take part, a large scale battery deployment. And then we have already discussed with our distribution utilities about having a distribution substation level storage solution, I think the nicest spot, and then of course the behind the meter solutions for homes. So if we create the right policies, the right pricing, not necessary to satisfy the suppliers, but also to deliver value to this country. So there will be one fine day where batteries will be everywhere, just like the solar dream. So we also dream, and fortunately all our dreams up to now have come true.
So from the policy point of view, you highlight that the importance of having a behind the meter storage. That is exactly the theoretically correct answer, I think, because the intermittence is created at the source, that is the solar PV. So if we treat the intermittence at the point where it is generated, most of the problems that you may encounter in the transmission network will be solved as well. So I think that's a good policy. And next I will move, now I think Carson, you have heard the Sri Lankan scenario from the utility and the policy point of view, and also I gave you a brief at the beginning. Now, after listening to those, being the manufacturer of such a reputed battery technology and also the inverters, from my point of view, when the solar technology was introduced to, at least in our country, back in 1980s, that's a long time ago, these were DC systems, purely DC systems, and there were no inverters. Directly the LEDs were driven. And later, when the Surya Bala Sangrama in 2016 was introduced, it came with the inverters. However, it didn't have this storage. Therefore, from my point of view, it has been a half-baked cake. Now you add the remaining part and make it a complete solution, right? That's very clear. Now, can you tell us why investing in a battery energy storage system is a viable solution to Sri Lanka's power issue? Now I have highlighted the issue. Issue is not having sufficient inertia in the system, and Tarindu has highlighted the problems of voltage fluctuations and various other voltage related problems. So why one should invest in your solution? Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's a very good question. And just now I listened to all of our guests very carefully, and also I made some notes here. So now I understand much more about the local market situation. Coming back to the question, so from my point of view, I think there are several reasons about why we should invest in battery energy storage system in Sri Lanka. But today here I just want to highlight 3 points. So let's say the first one is Sri Lanka aims for around 70% renewable energy by 2030. So, but as all of us know, the solar, even hydro and the wind, the energy is not consecutive. So all of them are the intermittent. So under this situation, I think the BESS can be playing a very, let's say, very important role. So because BESS can store the surplus renewable energy from the solar, from the wind, even from the hydro. So under this situation, we can make sure the energy supply can be the consecutive and more reliable, especially when we store the surplus renewable energy when the generation from the wind, from the solar, from the even hydro, when the generation is high, we can store the surplus energy and supplies it when generation drops. So this is the first point. And secondly, I think for the battery energy storage system, it can stabilize the public grid as well. Also, it can reduce the power outage. So today in Sri Lanka, I think we are facing the load shedding due to the supply and demand imbalances issues. So under this situation, BESS can store the excess energy and release it when during the peak demands, and also it can help manage the voltage fluctuation as well as the great instability. So this is the second point. So the third one is like, the energy safety is very important for a country. So in China, we put it's a very high level. I mean, so here I believe it's the same situation. So energy safety is always very important for a country. So under this situation, we think the BESS can reduce the dependence on the fuel imports. So definitely, if we have the battery energy storage system together with like solar and wind, even hydro, so we have this kind of independent system that can definitely enhance the energy independence in Sri Lanka. So in a word, I think BESS is very cost-effective and also sustainable and rapidly deployable solutions for Sri Lanka's energy crisis.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank
and
you.
one more question related to this. I mean, when you introduce this new technology, one of the key concerns that I have heard in many forums is one thing is the lifetime of the battery. In your presentations, I saw that it's more than 10 years. The next concern is what are you going to do once the battery is removed from the system? How it's going to impact on the environment, and there are concerns like that. I saw the recycling tag in your product line. How effective that is?
Say again the question. Sorry.
The question is, what can you say about the disposal of the batteries after useful life?
Okay. Regarding the, I think it is just kind of about recycling, right? So, BYD is, let's say, public listed company in Shenzhen and the Hong Kong stock share market. So, from BYD side, we are always following the local regulations in the different, let's say, different country and regions to take care of all of those batteries, especially for the retired batteries. So, for example, in Europe, we work with a professional third party to take care of those batteries. Once the end users they don't want to use the battery again, or something wrong with the battery cannot work again, we will take it back according to the customer, according to the end user's requirements. Here, I'm not sure. Maybe in Sri Lanka, the local regulations about the recycling battery is not ready. But from BYD side, we are always follow the local regulations to take care of the retired batteries. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. And now, as you may have studied, the Sri Lankan market already has several suppliers of batteries. Now, from the investor's point of view, why one should go for BYD?
Okay, I think, yeah, it's a big question. So, to answer this question, I think it's very important to understand what's the difference between BYD and most of the other players in the market. So, firstly, I would like to say BYD is a real battery manufacturers. We are not purchasing the BMS or the battery cells from the other companies. As Ms. Icy mentioned in the presentation, BYD, we have the end-to-end production chain layout from the mineral resource to the recycling. So that means we can control the quality from the very early stage. I mean, that is even from the mineral resource to control the whole manufacturing process. So we can strictly control the quality of our battery energy storage system. So this is not most of the other players in the market they can do. I don't believe so. So this is let's say one of the main difference between BYD and other players in the market.
Yep, yep.
And secondly, as we mentioned in the presentation, again, safety is always the priority from BYD side. So I think for the end users, when they choose a product, they need to consider their experience, right? Their tracking record. So we have more than 23 years, let's say, production experience. So we have delivered more than 75 gigawatt hours battery energy storage system in the global markets. And you know, by the, let's say, at the end of last year, we have achieved the biggest energy storage project in the global market, which is just a single project, which is 15.1 gigawatt hours in Saudi Arabia. So if our systems can work very well in Saudi Arabia, you know, very high temperature, right?
Yes.
So definitely, I believe it can work very well in Sri Lanka. So this is the second point. In addition, I think as the battery experts, BYD, we have a very good, let's say, cost-effective solutions. Also, we have the strong technical support and after-sales service. Don't forget, we have more than 10,000 R&D personnel only focus on the energy storage system research and development. So, in a word, I think this is good enough to choose BYD as a partner or supplier for the energy storage system. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so from the raw material to the finished product, from a reputed company with reliability and the guarantee of service.
Mm-hmm.
So, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Thanks. So let me turn to the local partner of BYD, that is Haley Solar. And Roshan is with us. Now you have got a good deal because you are going to solve one of the burning problems in the renewable energy sector. Now tell me, why should an individual or an organization invest in the energy storage system with you, Haley Solar?
Yeah, so thank you. It's very good that I got the last question, because while Professor Yu focused on the theoretical side of things, Mr. Harsha was dreaming, and he has fulfilled his dream in getting the necessary renewables in, but we don't think so. And the LECO is struggling to sleep. They can't sleep with the effect because of the solar is having on the grid. And our partner is building dreams, right? So what are we? What can we do as Haley Solar? We are here to represent our clients. So what are our clients' dreams? That is what is the key, I believe, is today, right? So if we go back to 2016, when the Suryabal Sangrame was launched, we got a rate of around 22 rupees, right? And at that time, everybody thought this 22 rupees is way too high, two-tier tariff and all. And at that time, the dollar was 120 rupees, give or take. And at that time, 22 rupees. It was fixed for 20 years. Agreements were signed. Today, certain individuals are only paid at 15 rupees 50 because of the two-tier. And electricity board is enjoying electricity from the solar that was installed those days at 15 rupees 50. And with the issues we had, the power cuts and everything, it went up to 37. And today we are talking 22, 27 for the rooftop. They are trying to bring it down, unfortunately. And for the utility, it's averaging around 20. Is this really high? Right? When the dollar is at 300, 330, is it really high today? Because we are fixing it for the next 20 years. Right? That's the key for our customers. How can I fix my cost for the next 20 years? But with the recent issues we have power cuts, we had grid instabilities. So they are now again worried about their grid security, energy independence. So our customers are looking for that energy independence, which is the key. Where we can build and we can supply. We have found the best partner in the world, along with the best supplier in the country. We bring you the best technology where we can fulfill all of our dreams. So that's the key message I want to bring it to you. And today we are, as an industry, asking for about 55 rupee tariff from the utilities for the battery storage, which suddenly they think, oh, it's very high. It's not. Even today, for the fuel, we spend 75, 90 rupees sometimes. We are just offsetting those things with 55. And mind you, it's fixed for more than 10 years. In my personal view, for a good 15, 20 years, it's fixed. So if we can fix battery storage rate at 55 rupees for the next 20 years, is it a bad deal? By no means, I don't think so. So that is our dream, that is our consumer's dream. And as a EPC who boasts of almost 20% of the renewable solar installed, we can bring that guarantee with the reliable suppliers we have to the nation.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we have talked about the problems in the utility, the policy level decisions from the policymakers, and also what the manufacturer has to say about their product, and also the partner in Sri Lanka, what he has to say. And one last question before I wind up the discussion is, now, if I ask a tricky question, now solar has been introduced as a means of bringing in the renewable energy, true. And now we have an energy storage system mainly focusing at the domestic customers or small scale industry customers or moderate industry customers. Now if these two join together and come up with a solution, who can run their electricity system on their own, that is completely energy independent, and get rid of the grid. Is it a viable solution? Yeah, I'm asking from everyone.
Yeah, it is guaranteed from our point of view with the numbers we run. It's definitely worthwhile because of, if provided we get the necessary policy in soon as possible. So that has been our major hurdle. So no sooner the policies come, at, mind you, whatever the rate, then we can start implementing it openly and go fast. And that's how from 2011 the market grew. And within a very short period, we've been able to put 27.5% of energy into the country.
Yeah, so with that, I think we come to the end of the discussion, and thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much all the resource persons who are on stage. Thank you.
Indeed, an insightful and thought-provoking discussion that was. A big thank you goes out to our esteemed panelists as well as to our moderator for sharing their experiences, their expertise, and of course their forward-thinking perspectives with all of us this evening, along with their valuable insights. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our panelists and moderator. Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a quick pause now in order to clear off the stage before we move into our next segment this evening. Well, thank you very much for your patience, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we are now going to move into doing something exciting tonight. So this is where we are going to test your knowledge on what you have gathered today about this powerful partnership between Haley Solar and BYD Energy Storage. And we are going to have some fun with an exciting online quiz competition. So it's going to be very, very simple. So a QR code will be displayed on the screen shortly. All you got to do is to take out your mobile phones, scan the QR code that is being displayed right now, and get yourselves registered. Just enter your name, and you can also enter the company that you're representing. It is optional, and you can get registered to our quiz competition. So this is going to be a very simple and fun-filled quiz competition where we will be asking 8 questions and you'll be receiving 10 seconds to answer each question. And our top performers will also get to take home some exciting prizes tonight. All right, so we're going to take a minute as we give all of you some time to get yourselves registered and take part in our quiz competition, which we will start shortly. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we hope you all have got yourselves registered. Please do take out your mobile phones and scan the QR code if you still haven't and get yourselves registered. All you got to do is to enter your name and your company. Well, that is optional. Only if you want, you can enter the company that you're representing and get yourselves registered. And we will commence our quiz just in a little while. All right, so we can see that a lot of you have already joined our quiz competition, and we are going to just take a couple of more seconds in order to allow all of you to join our quiz competition. So the steps are very simple, ladies and gentlemen. Just scan the QR code, enter your credentials, your name and your company, and just click Join Now. Very simple. Scan the QR code, enter your credentials, and click Join Now. So this is your chance to get registered if you still haven't got yourselves registered, as it's going to be a very simple but also a fun-filled quiz, ladies and gentlemen. And we promise you that it's not going to have any tough questions. All the questions will be based on the presentations which took place on this stage a little while ago. And the questions are very, very simple. So please do get yourselves registered if you still haven't. Very simple, the steps are. Just scan the QR code, enter your credentials, and click Join Now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready with our online quiz competition. And let's start off with our first question, and you'll have 10 seconds to answer. In which year was BYD established? You've got 4 answers. Pick the correct answer. Well, your time's up. Some exciting statistics. And let's move on to the next question. And that is the second question this evening. And that's our leaderboard for the first question. And here's your second question. What is the DOD of BYD ESS? And you've got 10 seconds to answer. Four more seconds. All right, and let's see how many of you have got it right. Well, exciting and interesting. All right, let's take a look at our leaderboard as well. Good job, everyone. All right, so let's move on to our next question this evening. Our third question. How many LV 5.0 can be connected in parallel at most? 7 seconds to answer. And let's take a look at your results. A lot of you have got it right as well, and here's a look at your leaderboard. Good job, good job. Let's keep going, ladies and gentlemen. All right, our fourth question this evening. What's the C rating of Max Light In? 10 seconds, start now. Well, let's see how many of you have got it right now. We've got to try a little bit harder next time. All right, moving on to our leaderboard. Very well done. All right, so we are done with 50% of our quiz. 4 questions down, 4 more to go, and here's your 5th question. What is the maximum capacity of Max Light in a single system? And your time starts right now. 5 more seconds. And here are the results. Good job. And here's the leaderboard as of now. Very well done. All right, so we've got 3 more questions to go, and here's the 6th question this evening. What's the C rating of LV 5.0 Plus? You've got about 6 more seconds to answer. And your time's up. Let's take a look at the results. Good job, everyone, and here's your leaderboard. Some brilliant work that has been put in. All right, so we now come down to the final 2 questions this evening. And the 7th question is, what is the protection level of BYD Inverter Power Box SL? Your time starts now. Time's up, and let's take a look at the results. All right, and here's your leaderboard as of now. Good job, everyone. All right, so here we go with the final question this evening. The last question. What's the warranty of BYD package LV 5.0 and Powerbox SL? Your time starts now. Final 5 seconds. And is the result for the final question tonight. All right, and let's take a look at our final leaderboard. All right, very well done, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. All right, brilliant work, everyone. And it's time to reward our top performers of the online quiz competition. And could we please have on stage Mr. Hasit Prematilaka, the Managing Director at Haley's Fentons Limited, Mr. Roshin Pereira, the Executive Director and CEO at Haley's Solar, along with Mr. Carson Shao, the Senior Director at BYD Energy Storage, to reward our top performers of the online quiz competition. And the first place goes out to Tarindu De Silva. A big round of applause to our top performer of the quiz competition. And in second place we have Suviti Karuna Sekara. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and in third place we have Prano. Congratulations. Thank you very much, and we request Mr. Hasit Prematilaka to please remain on stage, and a big thank you goes out to the other two gentlemen for doing the honors. All right, and could we please have Mr. Sarath Ganegoda, the Executive Director at Haley's PLC, to please join Mr. Hasit Prematilaka on stage, as we shall now take a minute to present a few tokens of appreciation to our panelists this evening. Well, to accept the first token of appreciation, we'd like to invite our moderator, Professor Lilantha Samalnaika, the Dean at the Faculty of Engineering at the University of Peradeniya. And to accept the next token of appreciation, we invite Mr. Harsha Vikramasinghe, the Director General at Sri Lanka Sustainability Energy Authority. And the next token of appreciation goes out to Mr. Tarindu De Silva, the Senior Project Manager at LECO. Thank you very much, Mr. Ganegoda, and we request Mr. Prematilaka to please remain on stage. Mr. Hasit Prematilaka, we request you to kindly remain on stage. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we shall now move on to a key highlight of today's event, and that is the official signing ceremony between Haley Solar and BYD Energy Storage. Well, this partnership, of course, represents more than just a collaboration. It's a shared commitment towards accelerating Sri Lanka's transition to clean, reliable, and future-ready energy solutions. And to do the honors, could we please have on stage Mr. Mohan Panditage, the Chairman and Chief Executive at Haley's PLC, Ms. I.C. Liang, the Regional Sales Manager of BYD Energy Storage, Mr. Roshan Pereira, the Executive Director, CEO at Haley's Solar, and Mr. Carson Shao, the Senior Director at BYD Energy Storage. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is where we witness the official signing ceremony between Haley Solar and BYD Energy Storage. A powerful partnership, that is what we are establishing at this very point. A historic milestone is being created with the powerful partnership between two giants in the energy industry, Haley Solar and BYD Energy Storage. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as the signing is being completed. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a significant milestone this is that we are witnessing. Innovation, efficiency, and sustainability that is being embedded in this partnership that is being consolidated at this moment. Two giants in the energy industry coming together to signify a powerful partnership this evening. Photograph. Ladies and gentlemen, could we please have the senior team from Haley Solar and BYD Energy Storage on stage for a group photograph with our dignitaries on stage. All right, thank you very much. A big thank you goes out to our dignitaries as well, and we request Mr. Hasit Prematilaka to please remain on stage. And with that, in order to propose the vote of thanks, we now cordially invite Mr. Hasit Prematilaka. A big thank you goes out to our dignitaries as well, and we request Mr. Hasit Prematilaka to please remain on stage. And with that, in order to propose the vote of thanks, we now cordially invite Mr. Hasit Prematilaka, the Managing Director at Haley's Fentons.
Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What a moment. First of all, I must appreciate our leader, Guru, Mr. Mohan Panditage, the chief guest, who always inspires us. So he'll be celebrating his 74th birthday in 2 weeks' time, but The energy and the memory that he has is amazing. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you for your passion that drives us. He gave us the preliminary agreement to sign then and there. That's a fantastic achievement. Thank you, Carson. Thank you for trusting us. So we are the most awarded, the proudest company in Sri Lanka, Haley's. So you have chosen the right partner. Thank you, IC. So today is a milestone because, like Harsha said, we are moving into a different direction. It's not just solar PV. It's going to be kind of behind the meter. So Harsha, you have achieved your dreams, but like Roshan and I said, if you have achieved your dreams, we have no business. So we have to create more business for our continuity. So the battery is a good example. If you look at the total solar installation in the whole world, it's 2 million megawatts to date. Last year alone, they added 450,000 megawatts to the whole system in the world. And solar and wind together is 3.2 million out of 4.5 million in the total renewables, which represents 72%. So nobody can stop the growth of solar and wind, and solar is taking giant steps every year. So 25, it's targeting about 600,000 megawatts in addition. So Sri Lanka cannot be behind. So we have done a fantastic work in the last year, adding 500 megawatts to the grid. So I'm very proud as a proud member of Haley Solar, because we did a lot of promotions. So Harsha's seed, he planted, and the government gave good rate, and we promoted it. When we promoted it, my team asked, why are we spending so much of money? Because we have only 25% of the market share. The rest 75 will go to the rest of our competition. I said, it's fine. We are doing a national duty. And we are promoting solar, renewable energy, and we are making Sri Lanka an island nation, energy independent, energy secure. So this is our motto, this is our task. As a leader in the market, that is our duty as well. So if 67% has been achieved, why not we stop at 70? We can go even beyond. There are countries in the world that has gone to 97% of renewables. We can go there. We can completely stop all dollars going out of the country. So that's our aim. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your participation. We expect you to help us to promote this energy security in the country. So there are a lot of banking partners and government institutes, government representatives. I must thank Professor Zilanta. I wanted him to mention one super project, but he is doing in University of Peradeniya. With the limited land space, with solar and tea plantation, with this blue light with 700 nanometer wavelength, it helps for tea plants to grow faster and much bigger. So he's doing an experiment. We are proud partners of that together with ADB. And that's the area that we want to drive. We want to drive and encourage more and more free energy come into the country and utilize them for productivity improvements. So I appreciate Professor Lanta, Taridu and Harsha for your participation and contributions today. And then our media partners, please take this message to the country, and we want to promote free energy, energy security in the country. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, your participation. The food is served at the other side of the hall, and there's plenty of drinks. Please enjoy your evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hasid Premathilaka, the Managing Director at Haley's Fentons. And ladies and gentlemen, as we bring today's event to a close, we extend our sincere thank you to each one of you for being a part of this exciting milestone, the future of energy now in a box. And we also invite all of you now to please visit and experience the Ice Warp demo booths, where you will be able to witness them right outside as you leave just to your right. And also we'd like to invite all of you to join us for networking, followed by cocktails and dinner, which will be served outside passing the Ice Warp demo booths. So hope you all enjoy the rest of the evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much.